Hi, I'm Ren.
I'm Sam.
I'm Tosh,
And
we're
we're
the
the
T
T-Swift
Swift sisters.
Welcome back to the T-Swift Sisters podcast, a Taylor Swift fan podcast for Swifties by Swifties. I just want to kick off today's episode by dedicating the episode to our amazing small business partners and Swifties who sent in items for our TTPD giveaway that's live now on Instagram. Without them, we obviously wouldn't be able to send one lucky winner a whole TTPD prize pack with merch items like patches, clips, bookmarks, and so much more. Entering is free on Instagram at TSwiftSistersPod. But again, I just wanted to say thank you. Started off that way. Thank you so much. And we are dedicating this episode to at Blue Dream Creative Co. on Instagram, at Carissa of the Sea, at Lily K Co. and at The Crafty Tea. Thank you so much for participating. This episode is for you. That being said, in today's episode, we've got a special recap from our London girl, plus more TTPD and trying to decode Taylor Swift and the color orange. Here's this week's Swift Scoop. Okay, now that you guys are back, I don't know if you heard the episodes while you were gone, but I coined your time off as STO, Swiftie time off. So welcome back to our podcast. Welcome home. Welcome back stateside, Sammy. I feel like both of you had very Taylor coded time off. Like Sama was in London and Tosh was in Florida.
Thank you.
So I think we can start with Sammy. Just tell us all of the amazing Swiftie things that you did. Like Europe is truly the place to be a Swiftie right now, and you got to experience it.
Yeah, that's actually funny you mentioned that because as soon as I got to London, the first thing I thought of was that Taylor owns that place 100%. I saw buses everywhere advertising TTPD, and I'm talking the double decker, grayed out, moody, going all over the city, and I loved it. Like, what influence? We don't have that in Miami. Like, we don't have any advertisement like that. So to see that over there was so cool. And of course, in honor of TTPD, because we love this album so much, I had to go straight to the Black Dog.
Stop.
Yep. For a nice Pimm's, which is like this really good fruity, almost like their sangria, I would say.
Okay.
And a Sunday roast, which is their, usual meal on Sunday. The Black Dog, I love it because before going, I saw that they were recognizing all the attention they were getting from Swifties, and they're super welcoming for it. Right when you approach the pub, they do have almost like a little mural on their window quoting the lyric. And when you go in, they have a really cool picture of the pub with the lyrics of her song written across, of course, mentioning the Black Dog. So they're super welcoming to Swifties. Everyone was taking pictures. They love to see it. And of course, we're, supporting a business at the same time. So that was super fun.
What was the wait time to get into, was it super crowded, or did you find yourself easily able to walk in? Because I was really wondering that, because I know it's gotten literally so much publicity. So how was the ambiance? Would you say it was mostly Swifties too?
Not busy at all where there's the line. Not at all. Maybe because I went on a Sunday in the afternoon time, but it really wasn't crazy. There were people there taking pictures of the sign and with the sign, but it wasn't anything crazy. They were mostly people that were already eating there and also taking pictures. So it's good because they're also supporting the pub. If you're in London, go check it out because there's no crowd. It's not like chaos or anything. So it's easy.
Is it in a local area? Did you have to veer out of town to get there kind of thing?
You know what? It felt like the suburbs. It was actually really cute because it's across from a park and they have outdoor seating. So we ate outside and we drank outside and their kids, playing, giggling, having a good time. And it was really cute. It was a nice, clean suburb area. And the pub was right there. So
I love that so much. And going back a little bit to the bus, my jaw shattered on the floor when I saw that bus on your Instagram story.
We'll
there
have
was
to share it with the pod.
there was no trigger warning, nothing. I just like, I'm like, oh, Sammy has a new story. I click in, I'm like,
No, I know.
Same. I remember replying like, what?
yeah, same. I think I would have fallen to my knees, honestly, if I had seen it in person. Like,
So they're pretty big on advertising because I saw smaller taxis that were advertising Bridgerton, which was coming out at the time that I was there. So I saw that. I'm like, oh, cool. You know, a lot of like movie and film stuff being advertised here. And when I tell you, it happened, like literally the bus came out from behind a corner and just passed me, and my jaw was on the floor. I was like, what? She has a whole double decker. And the fact that, you know, they're red, they're a bright red. It is great.
Yeah.
It is moody. It is setting the tone. I love it. I wish they could always be like that because it looked so good. There were so many all over the place. Ooh, she knew what she was doing.
That's crazy.
I like when I saw that on your story, that's when I was really like, oh, TTPD is not a New York album because it is a London album.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like that's when the
That's
dots
the proof.
connected for me.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like what? I had no idea she even did promo like that.
Me either. Because at least where we're from, we don't see that. I guess unless you're in New York and you're in Times Square and you see the advertising like that. But I've never seen it out and about like that, which is so cool. She really has a big influence over there. Even when you go to the markets, like smaller vendors, you see people with their own like Taylor merch. I went to this like vintage like jacket vendor, and the first one he had right outside the door was a denim jacket with patches that he made of different like Taylor picks. It was super cute. So she's a queen over there.
Yeah, I was going to ask because obviously last summer was the American Eras Tour Swiftie summer. This summer is truly for the international fans. How does it feel like being in the same, like, do you remember when we went to LA and like we were at Universal and everybody was wearing a Taylor Swift shirt kind of thing? Like we were on the bus and everybody everywhere in Hollywood was wearing Taylor Swift merch. Like, did it feel the same way, or maybe not in London, but like in Paris because she had just been to Paris kind of thing?
Yeah, that's a good point. I definitely saw Era's t-shirt. But I don't think it was as prominent as when we were in LA. I feel like when we were in LA, every third person had some type of Taylor merch.
Right.
When I traveled, the thing is the Olympics are also coming up. So there was a lot of like, Olympic merch and like team merch, but it's the concert tees that were out and about. We definitely saw those, which is cool. And seeing international Swifties, I think is always interesting.
Yeah. I love that. Did you ever get to go to the museum that we had talked about?
So no, before I left, I was checking to see if there were any updates on the exhibit, but I don't think they've opened yet because the only news that I saw was that there's still the postings for that job, the like Swiftie expert to do this. So I don't think it's open yet, but I'll keep a lookout so we can provide a date for our international Swifties.
I just can't believe how like perfectly timed your trip was to like the release of TTPD, like for you to like truly like be in the city that like inspired this album, and like just you like were fully in it, and I love that for you. Like,
thanks. No, I try to take advantage as much as I could because, as you know, like in London Boys, she sings about a ton of different spots. So I was like, okay, well, we're walking everywhere. Let me see, you know, what places she would go to. I think that's the cool part. Like it's almost like walking in her steps in a way. Obviously, she had a whole other relationship with London because of, you know, her history there. But I'm sure it still holds like a special place in her heart because London is amazing. And, you know, the London Swifties are so lucky. I see why Taylor loved it so much.
I feel like at least this is what I would have done when I was leaving, but I have to ask you, like as the plane was departing, did you listen to So Long London and make like a dramatic music video for yourself?
waving out the window.
Even more dramatic on the train.
Okay.
Train. And it was gloomy and everything last day in London, so it was meant to be.
I love that for you. Yes. How apropos.
Right.
I feel like getting there, you have to be singing London Boy, and then like leaving, you're like, so.
Yeah, and that's the perfect transition into TTPD. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Tell us what you have. New news, which is actually really funny that I said that because that's literally how they say it on New Heights podcast, and I did not mean to like rip them off. But what new news do you have about Tortured Poets for us?
So, according to Billboard, TTPD is the first album since Morgan Wallen's album that was released last year to spend its first 6 weeks in the #1 spot on the charts. That is insane. 6 weeks and it stayed #1. No words. And TTPD is actually tied with Folklore as having the most weeks at #1, which is interesting. Did you have any like guesses as to what you thought it could have been tied with, if not Folklore?
I would say 1989 probably, which is a little bit like ironic when you think about it because Folklore was a #1 album. It was a #1 album, but I meant album of the year at the Grammys. So that's why my mind went to 1989. But then it brings up like the discourse of, is TTPD going to be another album of the year? Because Midnight's was last year. And a lot of people are like, there's no way that she wins back to back.
Has that happened before?
It has not happened before. No artist has ever done it in history. But a lot of people are saying that the Grammys will like willingly not select TTPD because it hasn't been done. But I mean, we know Taylor to be, you know, the barrier breaking, like she's always the first one to do it, right? So why wouldn't this be the album to do it? But like, what do you think? Do you guys think that it's possible? Like, do you see it?
I thought about it when the album was first released because just thinking of other releases that we've had so far from other artists, it's been a strong year. I mean, we've had some really good music releases, Beyonce. So I don't know, but TTPD is just so good.
I know. I realized for the first time like last week, it's a skipless album for me. And I'm talking about the original 16 songs because I'm still like, I'm so obsessed with TTPD OG that I can't get to the anthology as deeply as I want to.
Thank you
but
for
the album is skipless. It's skipless to me.
I am now so into anthology that it like hurts how much I love it.
Okay, so it's grown on you?
So much. Like I agree that it's a skipless album, but even anthology, like I absolutely love it. The only one I'll sometimes skip is like the Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus.
I like
but
that
literally
one a lot.
any other.
Okay, yeah. Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus, I liked it. And then like I liked it, but it wasn't like, you know, like hitting close to home for me. And today, so Monday, Taylor performed in Lyon, France. And she's saying Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus, COSUM is what we're going to call it because that's what the streets call it. She sang it acoustic on the piano and like changed everything for me.
Sometimes you need to hear it in a different set and it's like, boom.
But it is
Robin
so
has
good.
grown on me so much. Peter has grown on me so much. Like it's just so good.
The Bolter grew on me so. That song is so amazing.
I really like the rhythm of it.
I'm like dying for the Bolter Getaway Car mashup at the Eras tour on guitar.
Oh, I love that idea.
Yes.
Manifest it. Back to the album of the year though. I was going to say like I understand why the Grammys wouldn't want to pick, you know, the same artist 2 years in a row, but like if we're talking category, then we're talking album of the year, and like who's to say that the same artist can't release another album like of the year just because it's consecutive? It's just like if it really was #1 for so long, if fans really liked it that much, if it like symbolized that year in like such a good way, then like I also think it's unfair to not consider it just because the artist won it before. So I don't know. Like I could see it going both ways, really.
Right.
I'm gonna have to agree with that. going back to your asking of us, Sammy, of which album do we think is close? Do you know if Folklore tapered off after 6 weeks? Like, did it keep going?
So I don't know if Folklore tapered off.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up really quickly. Yeah. So if Folklore is the album that it's tied with, Folklore tapered off at 8 weeks. So we have to keep track. We'll update you guys to see if Folklore surpasses. Mm-hmm. I think Midnights would have been a good runner up there too as well. Like I would say 1989 and Midnights would be the closest to Folklore. So I just did a quick little research recap. Midnights also spent 6 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard 100. And 1989 Taylor's version actually was 5 weeks. So it got really, really close.
Ooh. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. So look at Taylor, always just literally like, honestly, I would love to say that I'm surprised, but I'm not at this point.
Yeah, we're unfazed.
Plus the amount of times that we listen to the album ourselves. Like when you think back to the fact that it's been almost 2 months since TTPD was released and you ask yourself, like, how many other albums have you actually listened to in that time? You like start to realize why it continues to be number 1.
Mm-hmm. And it'll probably surpass Folklore.
I agree with that. I think so too. I mean, Taylor's fame is just like on a whole other level right now. And the fact that TTPD is an Eras tour, even for maybe some newer Swifties who might not have like really resonated with the album, I think they're still going to give it like a lot of time and love because it is a part of the Eras tour. So they like want to get to know the songs.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of the Eras tour, we need to figure out what the heck is up with the color orange. There are just so many like rumors and theories circulating the web. So I wanted to pick your brains, see what you guys think. But basically, Eras Tour 2.0, as we know it, kicked off last month in Paris. And the first difference, aside from like the little intro change, was obviously Taylor debuting this orange lover bodysuit, like completely orange. She pairs it with a orange, like the man jacket. And then she also has this orange surprise song dress. I don't know. It just was never in like Taylor's like repertoire of colors. It was never a thing. And now it's like so much in our face that I'm like, you know, and then over the weekend, we were just talking about how Taylor was performing in Lyon, France. She had the first ever 1989 matching. So in Eras Tour 1.0, the sets were all matching colors. In Eras Tour 2.0, they're all like mix and match. This weekend was the first matching set, and it was an orange set.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. This is something. Like, I think we can all agree that this means something, the color orange.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Considering it's the first color that she's been consistently using like this in like a random time. Yes.
Yeah. So like, I think we can start there that yes, it means something. But then the question is where things kind of unravel, right? So we have theorizers that say it's clowning for Reputation because the RSD vinyl for Reputation album released in 2018 is an orange vinyl. Then we have the Karma Truthers, which if you don't know, this is something that we talked about extensively on season 1, that there was a lost album that was supposed to come out before Reputation. Reputation ended up taking its place. It was called Karma. A whole theory about it. And a lot of people believe that it's an orange album because the writing on the wall in the Man music video is Karma in the color orange. So our Karma Truthers have re-entered the chat. Then on top of that, we have this weird orange door at the end of the Eras tour that like when Taylor leaves, there's a little orange door that disappears. And then of course we have what I believe is the truth. I'm totally kidding. I don't know if this is the truth or not, but like the Beautiful Eyes EP. Like I've started to ask myself, is this what the Easter egg is? Like everybody's clowning for one thing, but I'm clowning for another. And I'm just going to show you guys really quickly if you've never heard of the EP or if you haven't seen it in a while.
It's orange.
Here we are.
Beautiful Eyes, Taylor's version.
You can't tell me that Taylor's not about to release Beautiful Eyes, Taylor's version. Are we getting I Heart question mark? Like, okay, but now like back to like the serious stuff. Like, what are we thinking about this?
Obviously telling us something, but which one is it?
I'm surprised that you're not like immediately Reputation, Sammy.
Because maybe I'm like on the fence with the Karma Truthers.
Okay. That's big T.
I know.
Can you elaborate a little?
No.
Tell us more.
I don't know. It's too much orange.
But do you really think Karma's a lost album?
What would be the... I know. That's the part that has me like in disbelief. But what is the connection to the rap with orange? Is that like the direction we'll go into with this new rap?
She said the Record Store Day vinyl for it.
That's right.
That's what connects the old. But are you asking like what would be like this new era of Reputation? Where would orange fit in?
Right. Because remember, we kind of got into a conversation of the new rap era. If we would have snakes, what would the theme be like? So would orange be in that?
Like, I can't see Rep as an orange album. I don't. Like, it's giving Prison Jumpsuit if you're thinking Reputation.
Yeah. And you'd think, too, that because she had those mismatched 1989 outfits, like, if it was, like, orange and black, then that would, like, so be giving Reputation. But I think because it's both matching orange, I'm leaning towards, like, new album not related to like a TV.
So you're thinking TS12 is orange era. Yeah. Samantha looks like she disagrees.
No.
Please, I mean,
it's not to say TS12 isn't Karma. It's just to say that it's not a Reputation.
Right.
Well, but if that's like
you're saying, would it even be a TS12?
If it's Karma, is it TS12 or is it a Taylor's version?
I hate that.
Because Karma would be the lost album, but then again, like
it could be a TS12 though. It's her 12. It
is, isn't it naturally Taylor's version because we never had it before?
So it wouldn't be any it would just be Karma the album, but then we already have Karma the song. Like, I don't think she's gonna do Karma the album.
Let's leave Karma in the grave. What I was thinking about, because I'm still stuck on orange, like when you're saying, I don't see orange fitting in a rap. I'm like, okay, well, why orange? And what I see, what I just thought of with orange is kind of like, remember in Harry Potter, the Phoenix and like from the ashes?
In Chamber of Secrets, yes.
Thank you. They're orange, right? Isn't a Phoenix orange and very like fiery in a sense? I don't know. Does she ever mention a phoenix anywhere?
She mentions a phoenix, always like a phoenix rising from the ashes, bending on my gashes. You're losing me. That's a You're Losing Me lyric.
Well, is she in her Phoenix era?
So if you're going to go Phoenix, I'm going to say TS12. Because like everything was crumbled with TTPD and now she's rising from the ashes.
Exactly. Okay. TS12.
Okay. Somebody also said she has the Blood Moon vinyl from Midnight's era, and it was like I think on a floor of like unannounced, something having to do with TTPD, like the actual vinyl was still there.
It was the video going through the Midnight's room and then into like the
hallway.
Yeah, like
so we get orange there too. So maybe TS10 Midnights, TS11 TTPD connecting the orange, the Phoenix Rising, TS12.
Phoenix, Taylor's version.
I'm going to say Fetch, I think.
I like it. I'm going to say Fetch too.
So we're saying Fetch too. It's signs are giving, or like it's giving TS12.
Yes, I think my vote is 50% TS12, 50% Beautiful Eyes, Taylor's version.
I hate you. I hate
just because you can't let that die. We have to manifest.
No, also like Beautiful Eyes like the album, I was obsessed with that when it came out. Like I love all the songs on that. So I'm going to like ride that train until, you know, I'll ride it into the abyss. I would love a Taylor's version of that album.
50-50.
50-50 for me. What do you guys think? Sammy, how do you feel about Karma now?
No. I
don't feel, no.
I needed to talk
Really
about.
no.
I almost got side rail. Thanks for bringing me back.
That's why I asked you to elaborate, because we have to know like what you're thinking, you know, that way we can figure it out together.
And talk me off the ledge. Yeah, no karma. Watch, I'm saying this and then it happens.
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm saying fetch with new album theory.
But do we think new album theory TS12 means TS12 is coming, or do we think that like it's on the horizon with the red and the orange happening? It is far out there.
I don't think it would be that far if we're getting so many clues with the orange.
That's what I also am thinking.
But then I also don't think she'd release TS12. Like,
that's what we literally said about TS11. Like we were like, that is absolutely not happening. And here we are, all of us in our TTPD merge.
No, but we had a whole talk on her releasing TS11 before Reputation. Like this is now like, okay, we still don't have Reputation. We still don't have Debut. We still don't have Beautiful Eyes. And like you can't give us a TS12 now after just giving us TS11. Like you can, but like, would you?
I have to agree.
I'm still wondering if Rep is going to have the same theme, I guess. Aesthetic. Yes. Thank you. That's a word. After everything.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the 1989 aesthetic was so different from the original, but then
right?
Yeah, like the whole beachy thing and the outfit. But then I go back to Era's tour. Like if we're going to use Era's tour as an example,
right?
Reputation is the outfit, obviously, that hasn't changed.
Yeah.
So like that makes me think that the album is going to be this, like the aesthetic is going to be the same. Like she hasn't changed from the black and the snakes. Yeah. Old Stinky is still the same, you know? Stop. They posted pictures on Twitter that it's literally tearing. It's literally tearing.
Stinky.
Like, I think it's about time to just.
No, you know, she patched that up.
How did Christian Louboutin make 250 pairs of shoes for Taylor for the Eras tour, and Old Stinky is still running around?
And just one, no backup.
It sounds like a dirty sock.
It does.
Why is Rep a dirty sock? It's a joke it's because it's a joke at this point. Like she knows she's clowning with us. So Old Stinky is here to stay.
Do you like somebody was like, Taylor has the opportunity to do the funniest thing, and it's announced Reputation Taylor's version and then keep Old Stinky. Like,
oh man.
I'm gonna be Old Stinky to Eras Tour Miami. That's gonna be
stop. Same. We should just all be. We can't even be all Old Stinky because there's only one version.
Rips included.
We'd own more than she does of her own outfit. Oh man.
I don't know. I feel like Rap is just gonna come when we're not even paying attention. We're not talking about it. We're not asking about it. We're thinking of TS12, and then
I agree.
There will be no explanation. There will just be Reputation.
I don't think a Rep will have like Easter eggs or all these clues and all these hints. Like I truly think she's just gonna drop it on us.
Like at a show? Like
yeah. Like do you think it's gonna be like let's say we're at Miami night 1 and she's like, oh, by the way, Rep at midnight, and then that's it. Like midnight comes and we get Reputation TV? Like, or do you think it's gonna be like Speak Now-esque?
Yeah, like I think there might be like an announcement and then the release. Like it's not like, oh, it's going to be released like today, but I think the announcement is going to be unannounced. Like I don't think she's going to give Easter eggs for it.
Yeah, like the Speak Now announcement was on, I think Speak Now was released on like Koi Day or something, and then like 1989 was announced on like 8/9 kind of thing. Like it's just going to be.
Yeah, it's just going to be. Which is why the orange also just like it's not giving Reputation. Like I just don't think that. I digress.
I get it, but I just don't want it to be like that. Just because how many times has she dropped something with us thinking it's rep and like kind of leading us on to think it's rep, and then it's something completely different? I feel like we need something dramatic because of all the drama we've been put through. We need like, and I feel like rap is just dramatic to begin with. You know, it's very much like, I don't know. How do I say this? Like, it's not like 1989 or Speak Now that can be like an everyday thing. Like, this is almost like theatrical in a way. So I feel like I would want some drama with it, but I'm not going to ask for too much.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like she's at least done a good job at topping the other announcements. Like with Fearless and Red, they were like kind of like whatever, just the paragraph. But then she went so hard for Speak Now. Just by the way that she did it was going hard. 1989 was wild. And then when you look back at original rep release with the blackout on Instagram, the tiles and the snake video, you're like, okay, I feel like she definitely has to top that.
Agreed.
Yeah, AKA it could just be a post one day.
You think one post one day is bigger than the snake video?
It's enough for Tosh because she isn't a rep stage. Too.
I think there is drama with the release no matter what because we've created it. Like we are anything we're like, rep. It's got to be rep. Like, you know, like it's not like it won't be a big deal. It'll be the biggest deal and then it'll be an even bigger deal because we're like, oh my God, like we thought it was going to be this whole thing. We thought it was going to be this big theatrical thing. And it really was just this the whole time. Like you really got us, you know, like it'll be big either way, I think. So I feel like she'll play us.
Like, you think she's going to like clown us for clowning? Like,
yes.
Oh, you
like,
thought
I think
she's going to be this whole thing. And it's back to my Instagram paragraph.
Yeah. And I think it also depends on if it's released before debut. Like if that's the last re-recording, then maybe it'll be different. But if it's the one coming next, then I do think like I don't see like a big lead up.
So in Madrid last week, she did a debut guitar song first and a Reputation piano song second. And Taylor Nation said, oh, it's giving debutation with the snake and the cowboy hat. So does
AKA
that
debut
mean,
first?
I was going to say, so does that mean debut first and then Reputation? I feel like the thing is she knows that we want debut so badly. So like she's going to hold it over our head. Like what you're saying is right. We've created so much drama around it that she literally has to do the least amount of marketing ever because we are going to go so insane that like, so why not use it as the last one so that they keep hyping us up, keep making us crazy. When is it going to come? What are we going to do? Yeah. Sell out all the merch, X, Y, and Z, give us debut first. And then like, just let us run rampage with Reputation when there's not even anything really like that she has to do.
I think rep is going to bring even more fans. How's that possible? I don't know. But I think the numbers are going to be crazy for rep because so many people are waiting for it. And I think people who aren't even like regular Swiftie like listeners know the hype around rep, know what rep is in some shape or form. So they're going to listen in to see what all this craziness was about.
That's why I think she's going to do it last so that she lays low with debut. And she's like, you know, debut is going to be for the people that like really care about debut, for my true fans, whatever. It's going to be the same as Speak Now and 1989. Speak Now was hype, but 1989 was absolutely wild. It's going to be the same for debut and rep. I believe so. Like I rest my case. I will take that to my grave. I think so. I think we're going to get debut first.
Okay.
This orange, though, has to mean something. Like, we're not clowning about the color orange. It's definitely
no.
something.
And I honestly, if you think like if we're on the releasing debut before rep train, how much of a stretch is it to think that it could be Beautiful Eyes?
Thank you.
I know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why can't Beautiful Eyes be debut just the same? Like, you know?
Right.
No, it totally could be.
Like, it actually kind of.
Because she wore those colors in that era.
Are you onto something?
Just call me Taylor Nation. No, like I don't really think, but like I don't think it's as much of a stretch as like, you know.
Yeah, it never was.
Oh my God. Beautiful Eyes Taylor's version. I'm going to go crazy. You're going to see me at Miami Eras Tour with 13 on one hand and I Heart ? On the other.
You had that literally on all the time in middle school, I remember.
She's a beautiful eye stand. Like, I mean, put that in an IV and pump it into my veins. So we're going to say debut Taylor's version is orange.
Yeah, I'm here for debut. So yeah.
If you look at like the flower scene in the Our Song music video.
Exactly.
Oh, it's orange.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love this for us, guys. We made our own theory with Easter eggs. Are we finally doing something right in this fandom? Probably not, because it's probably going to be so off.
But I was going to say, I think we should have this recording to put it when it's totally wrong.
Whenever the orange like real answer comes out, we're going to have the previously on the T Swift Sisters podcast, and it's going to be this clip of like us just literally tearing it up, honestly.
We go through this every time. We spiral. Then we settle on a theory. We think it's 100%, and then we are completely wrong, but it's fine.
Okay, but Natasha guessed TS11. I guessed 1989 at Last America show. We're not that bad.
It'll happen.
We're at like a 2 to 15. Yeah.
What's the math?
Me wearing my Reputation t-shirt at the Grammys when Taylor announced TTPD.
No, say. Wear my green one.
Clown makeup on.
Yeah, so just stick around for the clowning. We're honestly going to have a great summer. We have a lot of really fun things coming up over the summer, some super fun guests, really exciting things to talk about. But I think that pretty much wraps up this week's episode. So I want you guys to let us know in the comments. And if you're not watching on YouTube and you're listening and you're not able to leave a comment on Spotify, send us a DM or like comment on our last post and let us know what you think the color orange is referring to. You can be Team TS12, Team Debut / Beautiful Eyes, Team Rep, or Team Karma. So 4 different teams. Let us know what team that you are on and we will see what everybody's clowning about. But that wraps up this week's episode of the T Swift Sisters podcast. To participate in our TTPD giveaway, head to @T-Swift-Sisters-Pod on Instagram to enter. It's totally free to enter. Takes probably a minute to just get through the rules and let us know your favorite TTPD song. Follow us and follow our Swiftie small business partners. It's super quick to enter. There will be one winner for all of the prizes shown. And if you're a Swiftie small business owner and you want to partner with us in the next giveaway that we do, if you want to participate in any of that fun stuff, feel free to leave a comment on this video on YouTube or send us a DM on Instagram. But thanks so much for savoring this week's Swift Scoop. We hope you've had your fill of all things Taylor Swift, and we will see you next week right here on the T Swift Sisters podcast. Bye.